Good evening and welcome to Telling Tales. Here we tell atmospheric stories together through the medium of tabletop role-playing games. It is Monday night and we are playing Masks of Nyarlathotep with 7th edition Call of Cthulhu, and a very lovely time we're having doing that. We'll do a recap momentarily, but first, promo things. Below the stream are links to lots of things: our social media, our other streaming platforms, our Discord, which you should join to come and chat with us and other people who enjoy things on the channel. And we talk about books and Kickstarter and other tabletop role-playing games, everything. And also our Patreon, where if you enjoy what we do, you can support us. The YouTube has loads of content, all of the games that we've ever run on the Twitch/YouTube. And our 5-year anniversary video, which we put out a couple of months ago, which features highlights, lowlights, and conversations about all of the things that we've done in the last 5 years. Definitely worth a watch. By way of a recap, the group have done Peru, they have done New York. This is obviously spoiler ridden, so if you haven't watched the previous 43 episodes, then you should go and spend about 86 hours doing that before watching this one. Quick, now. Have you done it? Cool. The group are now in England, which is where they all reside. They began in London, discovered some further cult activity than what they had encountered in those other places. Maybe cult activity, probably cult activity. They've met one or more of the cult leaders or not leaders of the cult. These are all things that are up for discussion, even between members of the investigative group. They then went to Derby to look into another concern of Edward Gavigan, who runs the Penhew Foundation, which funds numerous things, expeditions to Egypt, including the Carlisle expedition, which is what the group are investigating off the back of their friend Jackson Elias. And they have then taken an even further trip to Lesser Edale, a small village in Derbyshire. And that is off the back of an article in the very reputable newspaper, The Scoop, which discussed some people who had been savagely attacked by some kind of beast in Lesser Edale. The group have sort of started to piece together something that may be going on. There is a sitting member of the House of Lords and his family who may or may not have some kind of curse that goes back generations. And they're going to go to dinner with the guy and see what happens. I'm sure everything will be fine there. So let's bring on Sam, who plays Mrs. Farwell. Justin, who plays Mr. Farwell, sadly can't join us this evening. But how is Mrs. Farwell doing, Sam? At the end of the previous session, we sort of ended the day. There'd been a lot of conversations with the Reverend in the village. Mm-hmm. And you now have this plan to go and go for dinner with Lord Vane and his son.
I think it's safe to say I think she was quite surprised with how, everything's opened up, so that was quite shocking. There was a point at which she was like, this is all a waste of time. Maybe we weren't supposed to be here at all. That feels like it's moved into the background a bit now, I think, with his daughter is definitely a werewolf thing that's now going on. That was quite sudden, though, I think it's safe to say. And Mrs. Farwell spent most of the last session desperately worried that the good Reverend was just going to get eaten when he went off to have a chat with them. So the fact that that didn't happen, I think she's still kind of riding on the relief of that experience. So, and then just trying to figure out what the heck this conversation is going to be like now and prep for that, I think, is most of her thoughts, which is why I was sent off for more information in a telegram and etc. So we'll see what comes of that.
Cool, thank you. Let's bring on John, who plays Merritt Barton. Hey, John.
Hi, Jonny.
Yeah, how's Merritt feeling about a nice dinner and maybe some more translation?
Merritt's feeling very good about it. Merritt is so happy that he has finally had a chance to do something important, relevant to his skill set. Because so far it's been questioning people, it's been sneaking around and following people, and like paying membership to nightclubs, and it's just very not what Merritt usually does. But sitting down in a nice, cozy, not usually a vicarage, but a nice, cozy office and translating something, he knows what he's doing. He finally feels like he might be a good investigator now.
Good. Steve, who plays Edwin Price. Hey, Steve.
Hi there.
Same question to Edwin. How's Edwin feeling about dinner with a lord, and what else is going on?
I mean, from the dinner point of view, quite looking forward to it. From the daughter might be a werewolf point of view, not had to deal with that before, so yeah, conversation might be a bit awkward. But I'm hopeful that, again, that we're not going to be sat upon and attacked or put in crates or threatened to be put in crates or anything like that. So, so far, and we've made some progress as well, which was really quite nice and a little surprising. So, quite good.
Is the idea
6
here
out of
that
10.
you think the werewolf is crate trained? Is that where the crates are coming from?
No, that was more New York. The cult chap who was quite keen to. Yes, but that is a possibility. That could well be a strategy. We just need a very big crate and a chew toy.
I don't know why you think it's a werewolf.
When Steve said "set upon," I heard "sat upon," and I was like, you know that thing dogs do when they want your attention and they just place their butt upon you. I was just imagining like a werewolf character. Just that's what you're expecting to happen here.
Now we need John to draw some art.
A little scritch behind the ears. And finally for this evening, Jack, who plays Ted Hobbs. Hey, Jack, you weren't with us last week, but you are with us this week.
I heard everything that was said. I remember. And not only that, 2 of my colleagues, fellow players, or even their characters forgot my character's name.
So bad.
It's Ted Hughes. I don't know what the problem is. It's Ted Hughes.
Ted Hughes.
50 sessions.
Do you know when I was listening back and someone said Hughes, I thought, surely they don't mean Ted. And then...
Oh god.
It is. I am terribly reliant on having the nameplates up.
Yes.
I do. I have got the names scribbled in the front of my notebook, but that requires, surreptitious.
The only reason I can remember the Farwell's name is because there's 2 of them. So if we're all here, then there's like a 2 out of 5 chance of getting the name right if I just say Farwell.
Yeah.
Edwin's a little bit more dicey, but
yeah. I don't know. I people who are watching this think that the name tags are for their benefit. They're for our benefit. They're just on screen so we can get people's names right.
I think all it means is I can never miss a session, because I'm sure the session that I missed, well, not last time, but the session Ted got shot in was one that
you
I
weren't here.
So
yeah,
Ted either gets shot or forgotten about if I'm not here. I don't know which is better.
Which would you prefer?
Yeah.
At least we remembered you were there. Couldn't remember your name, but you were there.
Well,
it's a start.
Here's this guy. You just
what's his name?
At least everyone's here now, and we're not missing anyone, and we have the full crew, and no one's been forgotten.
Yep.
Anyway, on to what Ted
yes.
thinks.
Yeah.
Now I've cleared the air. I still could be a load of rubbish, though, couldn't it? Just because a vicar believes that there's a generational curse. Look, he's excited to go for a meal. He's getting dinner sorted. Or yeah, it is dinner, not tea. That was established as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did the dinner tea check. That is
Yeah.
vital.
Just wait to see
Yeah,
what they call the cob.
evening dinner. Evening dinner. Tea. Not lunch.
We'll all turn up
But
at
not
different
yet supper.
times.
I was going to say, it's not supper yet either, is it? So we've got
Yeah,
you're expecting to. Well, you believe you are expected to arrive at 6 p.m. at Castle Plum for the meal. So,
11 then.
it's basically brunch. So you wake in the morning. The weather's a little better. Overcast, but there's little sections of blue that poke through every now and again. It's a little sort of gusty outside, but no rain as of yet. And the day is yours, really. I don't know if you have any particular plans for what you would like to do ahead of the dinner.
I think first of all, it would depend for me if any information has been sent, come back to us via telegram, or if that's not happened yet.
Certainly not when you get up in the morning.
Okay, I think what I'll do is I'll probably come back at lunch to check that then. One thing we did talk about was going to the graveyard to check if there are graves of the family name. Check if there's anything interesting there. So I think, yeah, Winifred might say that at breakfast and say her first port of call will be there.
Is there still some translation to be done? I've forgotten how much. Yeah, John is nodding.
Yeah, I think I said unless something else required attention, that I would be going around to do translation work while the Reverend was going about his reverendly duties.
Yeah.
So I think after a breakfast, unless someone has any other suggestions, I will be off doing that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think I can offer much particularly. I failed my library use role last time I was there. I'll probably go and look at the graveyard as well, I think.
What were we using to deduce whether we could help with the translation? Was it education? Or...
Yeah, but I only kind of allowed John to do that because he has some translation skill.
That makes sense, yeah.
So unless you had anything relevant, I probably wouldn't let you even attempt to...
speak Greek. Just hidden talents.
I mean, there were other books in the reference library that were kind of, you know.
I think Ted will do that then. He can't help with the translation, but he can read English. So
cool. So Ted and Merritt are going to the actual vicarage, and Edwin and Mrs. Farwell are going to the graveyard. All right.
Sounds good.
We'll say Mr. Farwell's gone with Edwin and Mrs. F also. You arrive. You obviously, I assume, go together and then just split off at the last second for. So Merritt and Ted, you knock on the door. Are you having breakfast and stuff before you go? So we'll say it's sort of 9:30 maybe at this point that you're. Yeah. You get a lovely sort of break in the clouds and an actual ray of sunshine as you arrive in the churchyard. And as you knock on the door, Mrs. Bright answers and says, "Oh, hello again. The Reverend's he's popped out already, but he said you'd be by, so come on in."
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
And she makes like she shows you where everything is completely more than is necessary, considering that you spent like 10 hours there yesterday or whatever. But literally to the point of kind of being like, here's the primer, here's the journal. Like, obviously the Reverend has told her where all this stuff is just in case, and she's making sure that she passes it on to you. So John, if you want to make another education roll, and Jack, if you want to make a library use roll.
Ooh, it's a bit dicey, but 73 under 85.
Okay.
See, I got 23 over 20.
Oh,
It's that dilemma, isn't it? I mean, I've got a lot of luck, so I could spend it and see if there's anything
Oh,
else
come
left.
on, yeah, 2 luck, spend it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Go on then. I'll spend the luck to pass that check.
Okay. John.
I just want to say, Justin isn't with us, but he's still playing the devil on our shoulders.
Literally doesn't matter until any of us hit his luck level at this point, because luck is always a group thing.
Well, if he's not here, does he roll luck?
Oh, true. Now he's not here. Wouldn't it be someone else's luck we would roll, Johnny?
Yeah.
Oh, good point. I'll try and make it so that we don't have to make that decision. Okay. I assume that are you spending like a few hours on this if it's going well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely at least the morning, and then reassess at lunchtime.
Okay. You finished translating the journal.
Oh.
The previous vicar found no answer to the problem.
Rubbish vicar, honestly.
What an idiot.
He basically used all resources at his disposal, and he admits to sort of engaging with some texts that he thinks the church might be heretical, and yet still nothing. Jack. What you find is information about lots of old lead mines in the area. And you kind of find the locations of some of them, or certainly sort of rough locations. And you realize that it's possible that sort of these could potentially, if the entrances are open or a sound is coming from within them, make sound carry further than it otherwise would. And I'll remind me later if there's anything that where the location of the mines might be relevant.
Okay.
That's in sort of a local history book. But no further information specifically on the Vane family or sort of local folklore that is relevant. In the graveyard. So what are you looking for?
I think the first thing I'd be interested in looking for, I really Edward might be looking for something different, is the grave of the mother, who we think was the first in generations, potentially, to have this curse. And that's the one that the previous Reverend was investigating. Just curious when she died, basically. I suppose I don't think we'll find anything else out.
Okay. Also worth noting is that there is a groundskeeper sort of trimming the hedges around the outside of the graveyard at this point. You wander around the graveyard. You don't find any Vane graves.
Okay.
I think that you would know that there's a good chance that they are interred somewhere specific, maybe a mausoleum on the grounds, like the castle grounds, or something like that.
Yeah. I think I just asked the groundskeeper then. I'll just wander over and excuse me, sorry to bother you. I was
morning.
Yes, good morning. I was just interested in the family history of the local people around here and the Vane family as well. But I suppose they aren't buried here. Is that correct?
No, none of them buried here.
Do you know where?
You can see he's kind of like a little suspicious about the questions.
I'm giving full-on tourist energy as much as I can. I totally blank the fact that he's looking suspiciously at me and just ask, do you know where?
Aye, there's a mausoleum up at Castle.
Ah, interesting. Well, thank you. Interesting to know. And then I'll wander back like I'm looking at another grave and just make a noise like, oh.
Do you want to make idea rolls, you and Steve?
Cool. I mean, I guess partly I'm curious why he thinks it's suspicious that I'd be interested in the family, because it's like, I don't have a reason to. Does he have a reason to suspect the family, or is it something else? I'm thinking about whether I want to do a psychology or I'm just assessing the status. Do I get an indication of why? Is it just because people fishing around at the moment is dodgy?
Yeah, it's people that they don't recognize coming and asking very specific questions.
Okay, fair enough. So nothing specific, probably. I haven't got my dice up yet.
Yeah.
I will make an idea roll then. I will fail an idea roll then.
I will miraculously succeed an idea roll, although it's
Yay.
58 under 80, so I would have really had to try to fail that. But
you wonder about if there are any new graves here for the people who had been attacked. And you find them. Because you had the names, I think, didn't you? George Osgood and Lydia Perkins from the paper. And you can see that there is a small silver crucifix hung over the headstone of both graves. Or certainly silver looking. You probably, maybe Mrs. Farwell could make an appraise roll, because...
Oh, I will do. That sounds like something
you'd probably be the best at spotting silver out of the group, I imagine.
No, I do not.
Let me roll for Justin as well. Oh, 13. Do we think that that's going to be...
I mean, base 5 appraise. I don't know if he's put much in it. He might have leveled it, though.
Not unless he's changed something since the last time I had the character sheet.
Spend his luck.
That's about 2/3 of his luck, I think.
I mean,
That's not
I
fair.
have a praise. I could
Yeah, why not?
give it a go.
Makes sense to give
Sure.
everyone 5%. Do you have some points in appraise?
Yeah.
Oh, we should be selling you shortly. You might be better at appraise than me.
Yeah, but I've failed that roll, so 53 over
Okay.
25.
Yeah, you think
Yeah,
it's silver, but you're not certain.
Okay. Does it? Is it look? Does it look like something someone's just hung over the gravestone, or is it something more official than that?
Yeah, it looks like somebody has just done it. But do you want to make an occult roll, Sam? Actually,
Yeah, that's all I'm going to do. Well, go on. Let's have a see roll this second. Nope, not getting any rolls this session.
okay.
Apologies.
Yeah, they're just sort of slung over. They're not, like they're positioned fine, but it's not like they're.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's not an official
Yeah.
thing or whatever,
Well,
and it's specifically on these two graves rather than.
yeah. This is when you'd be really awkward and try and ask for a push somehow. All these, I won't, but it'd be funny, wouldn't it? Yeah. First question I was going to ask: are they both completely identical, or as identical as?
Yeah, they're the same.
Things would be.
They're the same. Yeah.
So I think I'll
So
probably say out loud.
you could guess
to-
probably the same person that's done them.
Exactly. I'd probably say out loud to Edward. Well, it seems like someone has placed these here, probably the same person, possibly for some. Well, definitely with some meaning, but perhaps with some significance related to how they died.
Yes. I'm not familiar with what that might signify, but it certainly feels like, I don't know, some sort of ward, some sort of protection. I don't know.
That's the sort of feeling I got from it as well, but unfortunately, nothing specific comes to mind. If we were on much friendlier terms with the village, I'd be inclined to ask the gentleman over there, but I somehow don't think he's going to answer that question if I ask
No,
for it.
it might be best to, yes, shelve that question for later.
I'm sure the Reverend may know, and he would probably answer.
It's interesting that precious metals seem to be used for that sort of thing. The gold at the Peru, silver here.
True. This is very interesting, you're right. And I'm also intrigued at the nature of placing the items like this as if protection after the people have died. I mean, I'm aware that they were potentially killed by a creature of supernatural origin of some sort, but that doesn't necessarily mean that after they're gone, they would need protecting, as far as I understand. Maybe there is something to that, though.
Are you still sort of at these graves while you're having this conversation?
I'm definitely, as long as I'm keeping an eye on the groundskeeper, but yes.
Yeah, can you make
definitely.
Can you make spot hidden rolls for me? I'll make one for
Sure.
Justin. That's a
This is something I should pass. Yes, hard success. There we go.
Yeah, you catch him kind of almost like kind of keeping an eye on you. He's continuing with his work, but you can see that he keeps kind of glancing over.
I'll take the opportunities while I'm talking with Edwin to walk a bit, so we're not just standing obviously at those graves, and we're like having this conversation while looking at other graves around as well.
Okay. You got a hard success, didn't you? If you kind of check back, you can see that he looks more relaxed once you've kind of moved away.
Yeah. I'll stop at another grave, totally random grave, as if the other one we were just remarking on it because, oh, that's pretty, rather than for any particular reason. And I'll probably just do a little head nod towards the groundskeeper so Price knows why I'm doing it.
I love it. I mean, I don't blame them for being suspicious at all. know.
I mean, as far as we know, he might also be aware of the mystery that's going on here and be protective, practically speaking. So this is definitely my time to get my chemical smoke maker out and disappear. Can you imagine? I lost the jack.
Oh no,
He disappeared.
Smoke Maker's really good.
It's not quite the intended target, but hey, and he reappears.
Black magic. No, it's StreamYard putting the login button above the comments, and then when you click it takes you off this page.
I've done that before as well. It's stupid.
If it makes you feel any better, I've got end stream above the comments, so that would be maybe
Ooh.
worse. Okay. Is there anything else that you want to do in the graveyard, or theoretically you've got like probably an hour and a half of unaccounted for time while Merit is continuing with the translation?
I mean, we probably should have a discussion about how we're going to, present ourselves. And
Yeah, I planned that for
we-
the afternoon.
fair
Although,
enough.
if Franz brings this up, I'd probably say yes. I was planning on having a good look at my clothes as well and spending some time planning our approach this afternoon together, since I think it's worth sitting down and thinking about it. But certainly Mr. Barton's distracted for now, so perhaps after lunch.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable, yes.
And then I might just head into the church for a little bit as well. I think this mystery about it burning down has still got me bothered. I don't think I'm going to find anything, but I'm just going to spend some time in there just walking around and examining things in detail. Maybe more idly than anything.
Yeah, seems good.
Okay. There is nothing there for you to find as far as you can see. But yeah, it's probably still quite interesting kind of looking at the stuff.
It doesn't have a church. Yeah.
And the weather's better than it has been since you got here. So yeah. Let's say that around lunchtime, in that case, everything is kind of concluded. Don't want to speak for him, but Merit potentially slightly deflated by the the end result of the hard work. Yeah, and I imagine you reconvene, perhaps still looking around the old church. There's the smoke machine, smoke thing.
That's an interesting. Oh,
I just unplugged my light accidentally. That wasn't the thing I intended to unplug. I intended to unplug this one, which is okay.
I'm expecting him to go this one and then just drops
and
out.
then the whole stream just finishes.
Everything ends. I just wanted to move my table down, and it's electric, so it needs to move down. But everyone needs to know this story now. But I had too many things plugged in, so I had to choose between a thing, and that was all that was happening. Anyway, I'm going to turn the thing off because it's weird to see me moving. I'll be back in a moment.
I will, meet up with people in the church and recount the findings or lack of findings and say, I suppose it makes sense. I had assumed if the previous vicar had found a solution, he probably would have solved it. But it was still a little disappointing.
It is always frustrating when solutions evade us like that, yes.
He mentioned having consulted certain texts that were not a part of the regular Church of England reading. I wonder if it might be worth asking the vicar if those books might still be around. They didn't seem relevant for the current investigation, but I'm sure Mrs. Farwell will be interested in them.
Certainly. And I suppose it's the sort of thing that one might remove from one's bookshelf.
He didn't name them in the writing, just to be clear.
But it's possible.
That's not to say that you can't ask. I just mean
right?
you don't have titles of occult books from that.
Could just ask the vicar if he thinks he has very particularly un-Christian books in his library.
I'm now just picturing a page full of Greek writing with just Necronomicon in the middle.
Any fleshy books by any chance?
Yeah. Any books that give you weird visions of impossible landscapes if you read them for too long.
But yeah, I think Winfred would be like, yes, it is certainly frustrating, though. I mean, I'd hoped at least that he would have had some further clues that we could follow, even if he hadn't solved it all. Anyway, I suppose that's the challenge.
It does. And it does sound as if the information available is somewhat inconsistent.
Speaking of information, I'm going to go ask at the bar to see if the telegram has arrived for us. I'll pop off to do that.
Is everyone just returning to the pub?
We should probably have lunch.
I was going to say, yeah, we need to have lunch. We don't want to starve to death before our dinner.
Yeah, you ask Bill, who greets you with a smile, and he says, "Nothing yet, I'm afraid."
Excuse me. Well, anyway, I think my colleague's going to be here in a moment, and they'll probably want some lunch. So whatever's going for the 5 of us.
I can rustle you up some sandwiches, if that'll do you.
Thank you very much. I'll go find a seat and a cup of tea.
Yeah, he brings out some basically like ploughman's sandwiches. Everybody would probably drink tea at this time in the day, wouldn't they? Rather than
I wonder if we know each other well enough that I might know people's orders by now, so I might either tea or coffee for the people who want these different drinks.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to guess Merritt's a tea person, Edwin and Hobbs are coffee people. What are you thinking, Karen?
Sounds good to me.
That sounds right. I've got a question though about the ploughmans. Do they come on slices of bread, or is each sandwich like a dedicated bread substance thing? And if so, what does he call it?
Oh no!
It's all sliced from a loaf.
That's the safe option.
No buns, rolls, cobs, barms, or any other baps. None of there'll be none of those in nowhere in England. Nowhere in England does a dedicated bread substance, as John so perfectly put it. Yes, all sliced from a loaf, which was almost certainly freshly baked this morning from the wonderful crusty outer and soft inner that you sample. And yeah, then somebody else comes in and he continues to serve them.
Well,
leads you to your lunch.
While we have a moment, do we want to talk a little bit about what we're going to actually do at this meal this evening? I mean, I don't think at this point we really have any sort of a solution to offer, if there even is one. What are we just here as witnesses? What are we offering?
I suppose that may depend on what the Reverend wants to get out of it. He knows the veins far better than we do.
Maybe we
I
should
imagine
ask.
I imagine we will be asked what our credentials are. Why on earth we should be, in a position to offer anything, let alone be privy to any secrets they might have. Do we talk about Peru? I'm not sure our New York experiences add much to the pot, really.
I think perhaps an amount of vagueness may imply our credentials while also giving an air of confidentiality, which I think the Vane family might quite favour.
Perhaps in this instance, Mr. Hobbs, you shouldn't let on you're a reporter.
No, that's probably not wise.
Perhaps leave the camera at home for this.
Well, I think I've got one of them smaller ones, like a I don't know how
Brownie.
small they are. A brownie, yeah. Maybe hide in a pocket,
Maybe keep
just
it
in
hidden.
case, and keep it hidden. Yeah, I'll leave my hat that says press in the tag in the band at home.
Well, then you've been wearing that every day through the whole story.
No, yeah, you're right. I think we'll keep that close to our chest.
And yes, I agree with Mr. Barton's idea of perhaps an element of vagary will help our case. We perhaps should have already asked what the Reverend actually said about us to Lord Vane to find out what he's expecting.
I think you put forward our case to the Reverend fairly well, Mrs. Farwell.
That's what makes me worried. Given I'm not actually sure what we're going to do.
We don't know anything for certain yet, so we, they might expect we have answers, but until they give us the information, we can't even start to have answers. And that's
This is true.
What we go with. If they expect us to have a magical solution, well, they're out of luck, aren't they? But it's fact finding for us, and that's all we have to say to them as well at the minute.
And I can't imagine Lord Vane being too adversarial. The Reverend seems concerned for his family's well-being, and I have to imagine he would be as well. Can't imagine he wants any harm coming to his daughter.
Yes, you are right. So I suppose it occurs to me there are 3 points we want to get across. First, that we are there with the utmost discretion and we have no intention of discrediting his family or disgracing anyone for whatever may or may not have happened. Second, that we are not dismissive and open to hearing whatever strange tales he may want to tell and not viewing them as crazy or odd, and perhaps providing a bit of our background to assuade him of that. And third, that we do actually want to help. We're not here just out of curiosity, even if we may not have the answers. That sounds like an element of an approach to me.
I believe so.
Well, then we just have to figure out how to do that.
Perhaps given your status, Mrs. Farwell, you would be best placed to lead the conversations.
I am merely a wealthier woman. I'm nothing like a lord, but I suppose I got dressed up a bit. I could... Yes, that makes sense. Speaking of, I might have a little look in the shop to see if they at least have a nice brooch or something that I could wear with my... Well, I brought one of my simpler evening dresses with me, but it's not very much for a meal like this.
Perhaps if they have something with fluorite, that might be charming. Perhaps, I don't know.
Yes, that does sound good.
I mean, there is a point. Did any of us actually bring anything to wear for a dinner with a lord? Because we weren't expecting this.
Winifred definitely did. As I said, a basic evening dress, but she definitely does have something.
I think
Mr. Farwell's got his coat.
Yeah, true. Very nice coat.
Just yes, pirouetting through the foyer. Edwin will have a clean suit certainly, but it's not. I don't think it's dinner attire particularly.
Everyone wore suits back then, didn't they? Like
exactly, it's the point when actually you would have had a suit. It's just what you would have worn.
Barton has his usual slightly ratty looking like shirt and suit. It's not suitable for meeting a lord.
It sounds like a shopping montage about to happen.
In this
a montage in the
shopping
village,
which you all struggle to fit in. Never mind have like a dashing around.
Shortest montage ever.
Just picture all of us. Well, most of us sat outside as one of us comes out in an outfit. We all sit there shaking our head as we come out in various outfits until we find the one. We all go.
There are literally no changes of outfits in there.
We're all just trying out the same thing. I would like to. It might not be now, to be fair. But I would like to do a roll to see if I can find something to pretty up my evening dress.
I mean, they do have jewelry made with the Blue John stuff in there.
Yeah, I might try and get like a matching set of like earrings and a necklace.
Yeah, you can do that. Definitely.
Cool.
And names. Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Pitchlock are very grateful for your purchases. They start to tell you about how it's mined from the cavern just over Mamtor.
I think probably something with me. I think I might actually show the raw piece that I was gifted while I was over there to them excitedly. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll ask if they know who does the jewelry. How big is the piece I was given? Is it far too big to ever be turned into anything?
Well, as a single piece,
hugely. Yeah.
Makes
sense. Okay, I'll probably won't bring up turning that into a jewelry then, because I quite like the idea of keeping it as is. But I'll show it to them
anyway. Yeah, and Alice Pitchlock says, well, a lot of the jewelry's me. It's just little sort of offcuts, really, that you find them sometimes wandering around in the hills, and finders keepers in that situation, isn't it? Really.
Oh wow, it's very fine though. Your work with the silver here is lovely. I'm very impressed. This is proper jeweler's work that I would expect from a nice shop in London.
You can see she starts actually blushing, and her husband's kind of looking at her out the corner of his eye and smiling.
Out of curiosity, is it actually, or am I just like totally?
It's like in the middle.
Yeah,
like it's definitely not like tat jewelry work, but it's not like a professional jeweler's. You can see that on a couple of the pieces, like maybe the stone is going to come out in a couple of years through frequent wear and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's not bad. It looks nice.
Yeah, it's pretty enough unless you look close. Yeah, cool. Okay, I'm happy with that.
Cool.
Space on my equipment list for fluorite jewelry. I have to get rid of something.
Can you add fluorite plus jewelry? And then you know that you've got the big piece.
True.
Good idea. Okay, is there anything else, or do you want to kind of time jump to arriving at the castle at 6 p.m?
My only other thing was waiting for that, if the magical thing is going to arrive, which I'm hoping for.
You receive a telegram around 4 p.m. From Carlton Ramsey, but it does say no luck yet. We'll keep digging.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah,
I might find more information to provide before we leave. Then that's good. No, I don't think we're going to be rushing away. I think I won't respond yet.
Okay. Anything else for anyone else?
Don't think so. Not from me, at
Okay.
least.
I
Go on, John.
may just catch up with the Reverend if he returns to the vicarage, just to let him know. I mean, I left my notes, but just to let him know what was found.
Okay. Yeah, you go knock and there's no answer. So it looks like Mrs. Bright has left for the day. Ms. Bright, sorry. But yeah, it seems like the Reverend is not there. Also just it's not overly relevant to the tale, but you noticed that the pub was significantly quieter today with the better weather. Like there wasn't really anybody in there apart from a couple of people. But sort of the entire time that you were in there was kind of a couple of people in and out, and that was it, as opposed to the sort of bustling nature that it's been the last few days. Okay, you rock up to Plum Castle at 6 p.m. The last sort of flickers of light are in the sky, but it is dark. You're probably torches out because it's not.
Are we going with
Sam?
the Reverend, or was he?
He wasn't there when you knocked on the door. So perhaps
he was due to be at the meal with us, as far as we knew. So yeah, he's maybe there already.
I don't think he said specifically either way.
Interesting.
But he could have gone already. That might be your if you think that he's going to be, if you've assumed he's going to be there, you may be thinking he's already gone. So yeah, you rock up. There are sort of two lanterny lights outside the front door. The gate has been left open into the grounds. I assume you are knocking. There's a big sort of knocker on the door.
Is it a wolf head?
Okay. 1 minute it is, and then it turns to a human head. I don't know. The night has kind of the sky has kind of cleared a bit more, and you can see the sort of very crescent moon as you are wandering up. So you knock on the door, and after a moment the door opens, and a very sort of well-dressed but clearly servantly dressed man opens the door and says, good evening. I'm Giles. Please come in.
Thank you.
You enter into, it's very clearly a reception hall. There's an area with sort of a couple of umbrellas in a pot by the side, and sort of doormats and things. And he says, just this way, please. And notably is taking you through a kind of, you've come in through double doors, and there's another set of double doors out of this reception area. But notably, he is taking you to a side door rather than this set of double doors. You can see there's another side door on the other side.
As long as it's not down into a cellar.
That is quite unusual, though. That's not the normal entertaining route. I think I'm looking kind of quizzically at where we're going in that case.
But you don't say anything.
Not unless it's like that's clearly a servant door.
Okay. So you go through this side door. You notice pretty good. It's very clearly you've entered into the main sort of entry hall here, and you can see the other side of this set of double doors. But yeah, he's taken you through this kind of.
Is there
Side
anything
door.
obviously wrong with the set of double doors that we've avoided using?
There's no like caution tape across it or anything.
Is there anyone in the room? Are we like about to be introduced to someone in this room?
No, it's currently you, Five,
Okay.
and Giles.
In that case, I will ask because there's no pressure on the moment. I think I'll be like, Giles, was it? Can't help but be curious. Why not just use the main door?
Broken, immobile. Since the day Charles I was hanged, they say.
Huh. Interesting.
Kind of a quirk of the property now. I don't think the Lord wants to fix it in some ways.
I see. Well, that's certainly a very old broken door, if that's the case.
Yeah, well, folk tale, I suppose. It could have been broken 50 years ago for all we know, but... right, if you would just wait here a moment.
Thank you.
And he goes off up. There's the classic sort of like 2 sets of stairs going up to a landing from this hole. So yeah, in here, there it's wood paneled walls. There's tapestries on the wall, chandeliers, little side tables with ornaments. A very sort of, it's what you think it's, it's a very grand kind of like the entrance to the Resident Evil 1 house.
I was just about to joke about that. Yeah. Is
that's
there a
basically basically what it looks like. So there's this these going up to the balcony. Ahead of you, there are 2 single doors at the far end of the hall. There is also a door to the left and to the right, which you assume both go off to different rooms. And yeah, and then the 2 doors behind you and the double doors behind you. And yeah, Giles has gone off up the stairs.
Is it, because I'm conscious this is the era of the noble family houses all falling into ruin and the families disappearing to colonial nations. Does this have that sort of vibe of kind of old glory and nobility and money that's kind of fading and things are kind of dusty and not well taken care of, and the best stuff's been sold off? Or is it sort of like still in its prime, just out of curiosity?
It's still looking pretty nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
I suppose he is in the House of Lords. It's probably a bit more prestigious.
Yeah, so inside, obviously the outside is a castle, so it looks like a castle. This is giving a bit more of a kind of Victorian mansion vibe inside, rather than, it doesn't look like a 700-year-old castle in here. It's very much, it's been kind of modernized internally. Not to now, but at some point it's been modernized up to the point, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's wood paneled, lit by chandeliers. Yeah, it's nice.
Are there any interesting sort of portraits or other pieces of art that stand out? Like family portraits would be obviously of
there. It's sort of
especially if any of them are particularly sort of doggy.
It's a lot of medieval scenes on the tapestries. There's also an ornate fireplace, which I didn't mention, and sort of some like hunting trophies, you assume, on the wall, sort of antlers and stags' heads and things like that. But no, none of the tapestries you're like, oh, that's definitely a past instance of what's going on now.
I mean, I guess I was again kind of interested in dates, or was it Evelyn? No, am I now thinking of Evangeline? Yeah, that was the sort of thing I was looking for. So yeah, that's all.
No, the tapestries all look that kind of medieval style.
Sure.
And yeah, after a few moments, you see at the top of the stairs Lawrence Vane, who you recognize, and then he is followed by another man that you assume is Lord Arthur Vane. He is bald apart from a section around the side, has a proper walrus mustache, and is in proper dinnerwear, very sort of, formal and upmarket. And you're not sure, but you don't necessarily think it's on purpose, but he's kind of lifting his nose to look over the sort of balcony down towards you all as he walks down the stairs, following his son. And Giles comes down the other side, and he'd taken all your names previously, and points to each of you, points you out by name, and then says, and Master Lawrence Vane and Lord Arthur Vane. And they kind of nod at you. And Lord Arthur says, well, Giles, come now. Get our guests a drink.
I think
Yes, of course.
I think as they come down the stairs, I don't know how familiar with more nobly courtesy everyone else is, but I'll kind of gesture everyone else to like step up from chairs as they come down the stairs and stuff. No, it's not exactly courtesy or bow point. That's I think a bit excessive, but just stand there and wait for them to come down. That level of politeness until they've kind of settled and then sit down as well. Yeah, I'll let them lead the conversation, but if they don't, I would step in.
Lawrence says, lovely to meet you all. I believe I may have seen you in the inn. Recognize you?
Yes, I think we've been having a rather lovely time. Very hospitable.
Bill's a good chap. Father, rather than Giles bring drinks through here and everyone have to carry them to the dining room, should we? Yes, of course, yes. Foolish old man. Giles, we're heading to the dining room. And he
how old is
kind of...
Sorry.
No, go on.
I was just going to say, how old is Arthur Vane, would we guess, by the way?
60s, maybe 70s.
Okay. Yeah, follow them through.
Yeah, so you head through. The table is set. It's that kind of long table in a, it's a dining hall rather than a dining room, I would say. And he sits at an end, and basically the space is closest to that end of the ones that are set. It's not like he's making everybody sit 1,000 miles away. You would note, if you are looking, that there are 7 places set. So you assume that the Reverend is not joining you. Oh, no, sorry. 8 places set. So perhaps he is joining you. 8 places. And I assume you sit at kind of the nearest spaces as you get to them. And Giles basically takes a drink order from everybody. He gives a list of available spirits and other things that people might want. Essentially, whatever, if you could want a spirit, they have it. And if your sort of whiskies and sherries and ports, they're all very good ones. John, does Merritt ask for water?
Yes. That seems safest.
But yeah, like I said, anybody who has sort of a spirit or a fortified wine, they're all very good.
The opportunity to get a nice gin or something.
So while the drinks are sort of the last ones are coming through, you see a young woman walk into the room and sit at the last remaining space. And Lord Arthur says, late as ever, this is my daughter Eloise. She kind of
immediately
says hello to everybody.
Immediately interested in her kind of demeanor.
Yeah, she is sort of friendly, relatively similar to her brother. You kind of get the impression that they're not into the whole landed gentry kind of, in the same way that their dad is. Lord Arthur says, well, the good Reverend seemed to believe it would be good for us to make acquaintance. I don't mind having people for dinner, so it's good to meet you all.
Yes, it is very good to meet you as well. Please excuse, first of all, we hadn't exactly intended to come here with the expectation of having dinner at such a prestigious place and in prestigious company, so excuse our less than suitable outfits.
Not at all, not at all. When you're planning outdoor exploits, the appropriate clothing is much more important than for something like a stuffy old dinner.
Yes, and we needed it yesterday. We decided, perhaps rather foolishly, to go all the way up over Mam Tor, and it wasn't the loveliest day for it.
No, quite. I certainly didn't step foot outside yesterday. You saw the fire in the hall. Lovely on a day like that.
I can imagine far too enticing to leave.
Very much so. Dinner starts to come out. There are numerous servants who now appear. Giles is clearly the sort of head servant, kind of head of the house, I suppose he would be. But yeah, there are numerous other sort of men and women that are bringing out lots of different bits of food to the table. It's essentially meat and vegetables, but they're all kind of brought out in large pots and trays for everybody to serve themselves. It smells incredible. Like you've probably been quite enjoying, Bill's food. It's not bad, but this is like a proper meal, proper meal. Lord Arthur spares no seconds in starting to put food on his plate when it comes out. He says, hope you'll excuse me. I've been walking the grounds quite a lot today and worked up quite the appetite.
He's not going for a lot of like rare meats, is he?
Only meat on his plate.
He's already had his fill of that. So you made friends with the Reverend. Is that right?
Yes, we did. We had numerous things to talk with him about. It's very interesting looking at the church and the accounts of the previous minister of the village. Also, well, I was going to ask you directly about this. What exactly, or how much did he tell you about exactly why we were meeting? I don't want to presume the direction of this conversation, but equally, I'm aware you may view us as being here for a particular purpose, rather than just a friendly invitation.
I viewed this as a friendly invitation to visitors. You can make a psychology roll.
Yeah, got it. I think I might even have it without the psychology result here. Yes, I succeed.
Yeah, anyone who passes, you can see him kind of shoot a quick glance in Eloise's direction.
Mm-hmm.
And says, perhaps we can save any official business until after dinner.
Okay, that was all the vibe I needed. I will say, absolutely, that sounds like a most sensible idea. And then perhaps strike up a bit of a conversation about our walk from yesterday.
Yeah, everybody's quite happy
Yeah,
to engage in small talk and chit chat. Eloise and Lawrence both join in as well. Lord Arthur kind of takes a bit of a back seat in the kind of chit chat and is just busy eating.
I'm sure we can sort of tell a few tales of our less culty activities in Peru and New York.
Yeah, that's
maybe
kind of lay the groundwork for we've done some interesting things without
travelogue style stuff. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
After sort of you're coming towards the end of the meal, but probably everybody's still kind of picking at bits. And Eloise, you can see that she's kind of rubbing her head a little, and says, Father, I've one of my headaches coming on. I might take myself off, I'm afraid. My apologies, everyone. And she kind of pushes a chair out and pushes it back under and leaves the dining hall. And Lord Arthur, after a moment, says, please excuse me, I'll just go check on my daughter.
Of course.
Can I ask Jonny, as she was there, kind of, I was particularly curious without making it obvious at all to kind of check. I was just said about her demeanor earlier. It didn't seem like she was obviously like in an unusual place, but there's a specific vibe to be acquiring. I'm trying to assess whether she has the vibe of someone who has learned that she may have killed people.
Okay, give me a psychology roll.
And is kind of haunted by it. You know, that would be, you'd think, noticeable for a young woman. Yes, that is not quite a hard success, a regular success. I could spend 3 to make it a hard success if it's worth it.
She seems like a completely normal young woman.
Okay.
She's just showed up to, a small dinner that her dad is putting on for visitors at the village. You don't know how much information she's been kind of given about you before you get there. This didn't seem like an uncommon thing for them to just wander in and there be people in their dining room. She seemed reasonably light-hearted in conversation with everybody. There didn't seem anything untoward, really.
Outside of, there's a strange level of disconnection from what's happened. It seems unlikely she's fully aware of what's going on, which I think is very interesting information from our side. So, okay.
It's a good job we didn't, skip to the end.
So about that thing where your daughter's murdering people. Sorry, I don't want to just do another psychology roll for the sake of it, but I'm also curious whether the young, his son seems to have more of a kind of. Does he seem to have the vibe of why this conversation is going on?
We can use the same psychology roll.
It's really, is this just a friendly chat, or is there something more in the background, which we've definitely got from the Lord Vane, but I don't know about.
You see him kind of keep like looking at his sister, and you think that he's troubled in some way.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
He's giving across.
He's aware.
He's giving across a light-hearted demeanor and like, as if there's nothing wrong, but you can tell that there's something bothering him in the moments where he kind of, thinks nobody's looking, and he's just taking a bit too long to cut a piece of broccoli or something. There's just, you can tell that there's something going on in his head.
Lean in. I know I don't like broccoli either.
There are a few minutes where Lord Arthur and Eloise are not there, and you are just there with Lawrence. He continues making small talk, unless anybody steers conversation anywhere.
So there's a fast talk skill. There's no small talk skill, is there? I suppose that would be charisma or charm.
Explains why I'm so bad at it.
Okay, Lord Arthur returns and sits and kind of continues picking at the remnants of his dinner, kind of biting a bit of meat off a bone, and says, "So, I understand that perhaps the Reverend has been discussing things."
Yes, Lord Vane. As you may have gathered from, our conversations earlier, we've travelled a fair amount and seen quite a lot of things that many people may think do not exist or wouldn't believe to hear about. I suspect some people might say something similar about the situation which may be occurring here. And in the first instance, we are available as people to listen and to consider these things thoughtfully rather than dismiss them out of hand, and certainly not there to discredit or dismiss or make news out of any of these sorts of things, if that is something that would be welcome.
I did tell him that I don't want outsiders brought into the family problem.
Very understandable. And I do appreciate that this is certainly not the easiest thing for you to do. And if you don't want to say any more, that is absolutely your discretion.
Make me...
Let's give it a painful roll. Is it a fail? No. Anyone want to help?
What interpersonal role do you want?
I don't have the best interpersonal. It's probably persuade.
It's probably going to be persuade, but I'll give you a bonus die on the 10s.
Okay. I have a reasonable chance. Oh yes, I passed the first one. Okay, we're good. Let's try again anyway. Okay, I passed the first one. A normal success on the first one. Yeah, take persuade. Do you take on a bonus die roll, or is it not?
Yeah.
Yay.
Plus, you got it on the first one anyway, so I suppose if you were gonna,
true. I think something else that I might have added to that part as well would be our reason for being here is that we are looking to offer support if there's anything that we can do. We're not here to make a story or to, as onlookers or gawkers or anything like that. That's something else I'm trying to persuade him of.
I don't know how much you know, but it has become apparent that the vein line appears to carry some kind of... He literally scrunches his nose up and says, curse. Which I would not have believed had I and my son not seen it for ourselves. From what the Reverend has told me about the previous Reverend's research, it seems that from the 21st birthday of usually women in the bloodline, they can begin to... Again, he's like, every time he says something, he's like scrunching it, transform into something. Beginning at the full moon, but eventually becoming more frequent. And from my understanding, eventually becoming permanent. The good Reverend is translating something at present, and we hope that in there may be an answer.
Well,
Everyone turns to look at Merritt.
Yeah, I think we all actually visibly turn to look at Merritt.
Lord Vane, unless the Reverend has something else he has been keeping from me, the translation has been completed by myself. The previous vicar did indeed conduct his own research, largely into the history of the curse, which you may be aware is somewhat still uncertain. There is conflicting historical records on it. But I'm afraid that the previous vicar could not confidently suggest a solution. We were wondering if perhaps some of your own ancestors may have conducted some research into this. And if, with your permission, we might view family archives or libraries. We may be able to access documents that the previous vicar did not have access to. Perhaps draw closer to the end.
So now I've Stratton bringing people into our business at the same time as he realizes that he has nothing to help me.
I think, if I may say, that sounds unfair, Lord Vane. The Reverend did believe he had something to help you. And that is why I, as a linguist, offered my assistance with translating. He heard our history and our credentials and our interests and our promises of discretion. And unfortunately, I was the one to give him the Bahor news.
And for what it is worth, Lord Vane, I do not think this is the end of this conversation. It is simply the end of what the previous Reverend was able to discover.
Why are you here? Money?
No.
Some kind of fame?
No.
We had a friend named Jackson Elias. He was rather a well-known writer who researched unusual and some may say fantastical or otherworldly occurrences around the world. He traveled all over, investigating things like cults and strange rumors. You heard our tales from Peru and other places. When we were in Peru, we didn't tell you the full details of it, but we saw creatures which had seemingly lived hundreds and hundreds of years, which sapped the energy of those that they sapped the very elements of the body from those that they fed upon, left them as dried out husks. And upon sealing in their deity or whatever it was, they crumbled to dust. I know this all sounds completely unfathomable to most people, but given what you know and have seen, perhaps you can see that there may be other things like this in the world. Anyway, he wrote about lots of things and traveled to investigate lots of things, and I don't know whether he ever came here or not, but one thing which he noted before he sadly passed away was the Black Dog of Edale, and we are following in his footsteps since he has passed to continue his investigations and, where possible, to put things right.
Lawrence says, I'm very sorry for the loss of your friend.
Thank you. He was a good man.
Father, why don't we just let them in the library? What harm can come? Very well. Giles, bring the whiskey to the library. And he stands and basically starts walking out of the room.
Giles, bring the library to the whiskey.
So when you had come into the dining hall, you'd gone sort of right from in the hall that you were in through the study and into the dining hall. He's now taking you out of another door, and he takes you down a corridor, through a billiard room, and into the library. He basically sits in there's like a set of two wingback chairs around a small table with some books piled on. He basically takes a seat in one of those and is holding the bottle, like the decanter of whiskey in one hand and a whiskey tumbler in the other hand, and says, please. If you would like to make library use rolls.
I would
Yes.
like instead to take the opportunity to speak with Lawrence, given he seems more amiable and also seems to know about this stuff.
Yeah, there are various aspects here. There's getting an explanation from them of what they saw.
Yes.
And also in terms of approaching the library, I think first of all, yes, trying to spot any tomes that, I say tomes, obviously I'm looking for tomes, but books that stand out, books that are unusual, the sorts of things that, would be, oh my God, I've forgotten the name of Carlyle.
Mm-hmm.
Erica Carlyle?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. the sorts of things that we ended up finding in
Would
her
be in
collection.
her safe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it would have been until we took them.
We were given them.
We were given them, yeah.
We were going to take them whether we were given them or not.
That's true.
Okay, everyone who's made a library use roll, how did you do?
I spent 1 luck and passed.
I spent no luck and failed.
18. My library use must be better than. Yes, I passed. I got an 18, which is a hard success, I think.
Ooh, nice.
My library use is 47.
Okay.
It is very important that we didn't fluff. Like, we just turn up, we really need your access to your library, and then just bumble around. That would be so embarrassing.
Here's a dictionary. Okay, there's as you're looking through, there's a very fine collection of classics, world maps, kind of folded up, mostly featuring at this time British territories, encyclopedias. There are no specific books on the occult, which Steve, I know you said Edwin was looking for. You don't find anything like that. There are some volumes of local history available, but all you manage to find in those are basically the same things that you've found already. However, at the same, well, it's kind of, yeah, you kind of both stumble across a slim volume that doesn't look like it's been opened for many years, which doesn't have any kind of anything on it to say what it is. But as you flick open the cover, I think one of you finds it, but the other is immediately interested because it stands out in that it doesn't stand out. But the fact that it isn't labeled as anything, you're kind of like, oh, whichever one of you finds it and opens it, the other one's kind of peering over. It's inside, it's basically says a history of the veins, and is penned by Edgar Vane. And as you're kind of looking through, you can see that it dates back to the 16th century. Like, as in, it records back to the 16th century. I need an English language roll. So that's just education, I think, isn't it? Because it's
Unless
your
you
own
put
language.
extra in it.
Yes.
Just a regular success.
Cool. That's fine. It's basically, it's just written in such old English that it takes a bit of, not translating, but deciphering kind of thing. I assume that you are willing to put a little bit of time into this because it's the most interesting thing that you found. So you probably spend an hour to 2 hours kind of reading through this. And you find a section relating to the early religious beliefs of the Vanes. So Edgar Vane states that he found ancient records purporting to claim that his forebears once practiced devil worship and were dedicated to a blasphemous idol named as MORDE-GANEE.
Can I have after the dash again, please?
GANEE, like Mordi Gani. The account says the family called upon the idol to satiate their foul desires and suggests that charnel rites and cannibalism took place. Edgar writes that he could find no other evidence to corroborate the outlandish claims, but states that such blasphemy could be at the root of the diabolical curse plaguing the Vane bloodline.
Miss Farwell is our occult
I
expert,
probably am,
right?
yeah. I've got some occult. I'm not like amazing at it, to be honest.
Then I will call Mrs. Farwell over.
Yeah, I think that you do it sometimes. So it could probably be like after my conversation with Lawrence, but we can obviously go back to that. So I will. Shall I make an occult roll now for that, Jonny?
Yes.
Come on. Oh my god, that's so far from a success. I don't think I can logically push a knowing a thing in a book roll, so no, sorry. There's no push here. No, I can't think of any rational. I wanted to know that one.
The dice can be so cruel.
They can be. Why can't we just succeed when we want to succeed? Oh,
Something perhaps for you to look into later, or to add to your list of things to chuck at
yeah,
Carlton.
true. I will make a note. But yeah, I will reply. Sorry, I've never heard that name before.
Was a long shot.
You see by the time that you're done with this that Lord Vane has basically fallen asleep in his chair, with only a small amount of the whiskey left in the bottle, which he's still holding, and his tumbler kind of leaning to the side.
How's Lawrence doing?
Yeah,
he's helping. He's kind of he's looking through the books as well.
I will have taken some of this time the opportunity to talk with Lawrence directly.
Yep.
If this is while Lord Vane is still awake, I would have deliberately tactfully used an opportunity when we're further away from Lord Vane. So like Lawrence is having a conversation with me without.
Mm-hmm.
Master Vane, I wondered if you might have a moment to speak. Very understandably, your father is nervous about talking with us with these things, but I thought you might be able to help a little bit, fill out the picture of what's actually been going on. I understand we had read similar to what your father had said, that this curse, whatever it seems to be, affects the women in the line primarily. As far as I understand it, it affects your sister. Is that correct, as far as you know?
Yes.
Do you know if it affected your mother as well? Sorry.
No, she's not a blood vein.
Of course. So hang on a second, Jonny. Who was the person who was it? A previous generation's sister of? Because there was one before. In the understanding we have, there's been like a big gap, and then there was
four generation gap. I think.
Yeah, it was like 100 years ago. The last,
and then there was the one that the previous Reverend was trying to assist with, and then there was this daughter. Is that correct? Or
you don't necessarily think that he was trying to assist.
Oh, so he just
kind of knew about it, I think, and was looking into.
Got it. Okay, that would explain why he was keeping it secret. Okay, so this is the first occurrence where we're all for like 4 generations. Okay, got it. Never mind. I won't have asked that then. Well, I will then ask him. So this is, as far as I understand it, something that was only a myth in the family before this, that hadn't occurred for a long time.
Yes, that seems to be the case. I believe that the Reverend has found evidence of, well, not evidence, but perhaps the idea that this has occurred in the past.
Before it occurred, were there any stories in your family that you knew about? Any tales, or was this completely new to you?
No, new to me, certainly.
You see. Awfully frightening.
Yes, I fear for many people, but you understand that my closest concern is Eloise.
course. And there have been women born in the Vane bloodline in the last 4 generations, correct?
There have been what? Sorry, Sam.
There have been women born in the Vane bloodline in the last 4 generations, correct? Oh, none at all. Ah,
No.
okay. Well, that does, I suppose, explain why it was passed out of living memory. I understand if this might be a very unpleasant thing to relay, but what was the first experience of this that you're aware of? This happening? I mean, was it the news of the murders, or was it, or the deaths, or was it something at the house?
We knew about the attacks over the 3 nights. On the morning of the 4th day, Father and I found her transforming back to herself.
I see. She has no memory of this, correct?
That's my understanding. I haven't pushed too hard on asking, but I certainly believe that she would be acting very differently if she were aware.
Yes. I understand that it was connected to the moon as well, this transformation, but there have been full moons since. Has anything changed or been done?
Yes. On the afternoon of the full moon, he kind of looks round and sees that his dad is like passed out by this point. Father and I, he looks around again and says, when the servants are not around, we drug Eloise and we take her to a cell in the castle's dungeon.
That is a very sound and sensible idea, and it must have been a very difficult decision to take, but I commend both you and your father. You may have saved many more lives. I understand that is definitely not a permanent solution, though.
No. And the times when she are not herself are becoming more frequent and longer.
I see.
Even now, good heavens, that is concerning.
Is there any warning?
Her headaches,
Often
perhaps?
Yes.
Oh dear.
Listen for howling all of them. Well, I certainly wish we had an actual solution to offer. I pray that we will soon. I genuinely do. Perhaps my friends here can find something in these books, and we have written to colleagues further afield, as we don't have many resources here, but they may be able to help and turn something up. I'm sure this is not the only place something like this has ever been looked at or researched or written about in this world.
Might I ask, are there any old chapels or other places that exist within the castle that you do not currently use? There was a reference to some item in that journal, and I will sort of indicate the passage if necessary. If we could perhaps locate it, that might offer us some more immediate clues to look into.
No, and I don't believe there is.
Are there any areas of the castle that you believe are inaccessible?
I don't believe so.
And these cells you mentioned, there's nothing down there particularly old or unusual?
Well, no more so than the rest of the castle.
I suppose all of this is that we're working under the assumption there has to be some point of origin for all of this. And perhaps that point of origin is with the family and therefore with this house somewhere. So if there is anything that comes to mind, it could be very useful.
Could I try another library use roll to cross-reference Mordigani with the local history books to see if there is anything about older religions in the area?
You don't need to make another roll, but there isn't.
Okay.
And similarly, like if one was to look for sites that are that potentially crop up in tales or that sort of thing, like sites of religious interest, stone circles or sacred clearings or that sort of thing. Is have we seen anything like that in our study of the local area so far? Like places that people might gather to, to pray to unholy things, maybe.
No, I mean, there's like stories about sort of Mamtor, and there's the Bronze Age burial mounds up there that you passed and things like that, but there's not there's not anything that's like this was a satanic ritual site.
So the dates of this Mordigani, do we have any more accurate, like, an idea of when that was taking place?
No, the only date that you have, the date of 1608, which was when apparently Lady Evangeline Vane was cursed by the witches of Bakewell. Whether or not these are two stories that have crossed over, you're not sure. But yeah, like this is obviously Edgar Vane, whenever he's written this, researching the past of his family, and he's obviously found something, but maybe what he found isn't dated, so therefore he doesn't necessarily know.
It's possible that like the first manifestation of it had an explanation the local people found, but it might not be the right explanation, but it would give us the correct date for the first time it manifested.
Yeah, potentially.
So that might indicate when, sometime not long before that.
I'm kind of I'm wondering internally about when this thing went missing. If it was something that the Vanes had in there that was part of their property and it subsequently disappeared or been forgotten about. That's basically kind of where Edwin is in terms of
I would just say that you don't know that it might not mean idol as in an item. It might like mean it more in a
false
Okay.
god.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
This library is very much giving me the vibes of someone thought they should modernize and get rid of all these old occult silly books. Sort of. vibe. Damn it!
Let's just
They
have
would
Shakespeare.
They would
Mm,
definitely have had these books if they were in the family at some point, wouldn't they?
fascinating.
I think
Mm.
I might also just ask Lawrence, um, Master Vane, would we also have your permission to investigate the family crypt or graveyard if that's in the local area? Obviously not tonight, but if we were to come tomorrow in the light, it might aid in our investigation as well.
Yes, of course. You can. I can show you the mausoleum, but yes, perhaps tomorrow is a better time.
That's good. And perhaps
Um,
explore the local area as well. Though I'm not sure if we'll gain too much from it.
Perhaps I'll come meet you at the inn tomorrow morning.
You'd be welcome. Thank you.
As much as my father seems to have kind of come around, perhaps the more that goes on without him knowing, the better.
Well, I think if anything, he would just rather be left out of it at this point and hope that it were just solved, as much as it must be very difficult.
Yes. You spot that Giles has kind of snuck into the room and is standing with his back to the door, which might be a hint.
I will immediately take the hint and gently round everyone.
It's truly been a pleasure to meet you all.
And you. And pass on our thanks again to your father.
I'm
Indeed.
sure the
It's
thanks
not easy.
should be ours.
Well, it's not easy to open up about these things, so we are very grateful.
Thank you for your time and your trust.
I'll see you in the morning. Should we say 10? And he leaves Giles to take you out. And you can see him kind of, as you're leaving, he takes the tumbler and the decanter from his dad's hands.
I don't know if everyone's probably figured this as well, but I have been making a very pointed effort to talk about the mysterious things we've been talking about, only when the servants aren't there. Because servants do have that annoying habit of just appearing in rooms, don't they? So
Would I be allowed? I've only got base occult. I didn't make a roll before. Would I be allowed to roll?
Yeah. Like everybody, it's possible, I suppose, that you've heard anybody can roll. I'll roll for Justin, actually, because he has not base.
Can I, instead of occult, would I potentially get anything from a Cthulhu mythos roll?
No.
Okay. I'll just roll base.
Oh.
What about a photography roll?
What?
Definitely.
You've at some point taken a snapshot of a portrait of. Well, I shall I reveal my role first, Jonny?
Sure.
I rolled a 9. My base occult is 5.
That's worth it.
I am quite tempted to spend 4 luck points.
Do it.
I'm going to roll persuade. If I succeed, I'll do it.
Jack rolls persuade for Jack.
So I'm going to spend 18 luck points. To pass that.
Is this acceptable, Jonny? Is this
what to
spend luck on an occult roll at base to?
1 second first, John. If you'd rolled on Cthulhu Mythos, would that have made any difference?
No, I rolled 30 something.
Okay. I'm okay with that, Steve.
And there's no
Yeah.
higher power in this game, so
Do you want to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You realize that this is probably like a bastardization / miswriting of Mordigian, who you're not sure where you just seem to have this knowledge.
Great. Yes.
That Mordigian is basically known as the charnel god.
Okay. Already regretting it.
But now that you have the name, there's the potential for you to look more into the works of Mordigian if you so choose.
Lovely.
At least you can potentially give a proper name to Carlton Ramsey rather than him have to make the leap.
I think I might have just seen a reference in some, like perhaps I've got, as a lawyer, perhaps I've got some old box file of papers from some estate or other, and I just sort of remember the reference.
You also wonder if perhaps it could be the same sort of deity as you're aware of a Celtic death goddess called the Morrigan, which may be where your actual that's potentially a tale that you were told as a child, and you've maybe it's kind of worked its way into your brain, but yeah, that gives you something to look into further if you want to.
Well, I will sort of, as we're walking away from the place, with the knowledge that headaches occur, are a prelude to Eloise's transformations, and she's just had one, and now it's dark and we're all outside. Yes, I will. I think I've heard that name before somewhere. I can't remember where, but yes, Mordigian, something like that. I don't fully know what it means, but there we are.
Balance, Mr. Price.
I don't know where we should look to find more information, but at least we have something.
Wonder if the vicarage, if the previous reverend had esoteric interests, whether the vicarage may have any books that mention it. Could be worth asking the reverend.
I wonder whether any books were lost in that fire.
Well, at least if we get our hands on these heretical books, it's something to look for rather than just general heresy.
Well, let's hurry back to the pub. I don't really find this atmosphere so comfortable now.
Yeah, definitely a nervous hurry back at this point with that suggestion.
Cool. Just as you kind of get back into the lights, small amount of lights that are in the village, you hear this echoing howling, and we'll leave it there.
Not good. Not good.
It's just the lead mines. It's fine.
They're just settling.
Weird.
The lead mines are settling.
A weird lead mine. What was that about? I'm going to offer my apologies. I have to dash off super quick, but thank you, Jonny. I really enjoyed that. See you, folks. Also, get well soon, Justice. Bye-bye.
Yeah, any questions or comments, put them in the chat. Thanks, everybody. We are not on next week, the 13th, but we should be on the 20th. I enjoyed that. Links to everything below the stream, our other streaming places, our social media, our Discord, and our Patreon. But yeah, I think the next time that anything is on the channel will be Monday the 20th. Thank you, everybody who has joined us. Hope you have enjoyed Lord Arthur Vane. I said Blood Vein completely by accident and then realised it was really funny. I think there were some good comments in the chat this evening. Some comical, which is not what we're about. Comedy.
No, we're very serious. This one from Max Reiter at the beginning, which ended up being more relevant by the end.
It's always cult activity, yeah. It is. Thanks for joining / lurking. Steve, hello there. I was just interested in dead veins. Do you have any? None was the answer. D. Pocan, reading tomes is equivalent to taking LSD while depressed.
That sounds like such a bad idea. And another one from Steve.
Standardized, but yeah, it's just SBU. I don't know what
Yeah. We've solved it. All of this cultural divide across the entirety of England, we've solved it.
That's a freebie, no charge.
Yeah. We'll just have to move on to scones next.
Oh, God.
We'll end up calling them scoons or something. This is very niche humor.
That could be a SFBU. Standardized fruited bread unit.
But what if it's a cheese?
But then that could also be a tea cake. Or, oh, God.
Yeah.
Savory. SS. Anyway, yes.
But then normal bread is savory. So that's...
Yeah.
But not as savory as bread with cheese.
But then what is a cheese sandwich the same as a cheese scone?
God.
Is that where we're...
This is turning into is a hot dog a sandwich argument.
But wait, what about a cheese savory sandwich?
It's been a while since we had a roundtable discussion. We can pencil one
Standardized savory bread unit.
It's a seasonal question. Is a hot cross bun the same thing as a fruit scone?
No.
And a tea cake. And fruit loaf. And Christmas cake. And frangipan.
And a grape sandwich.
Wow. Oh, what?
A grape sandwich.
What the hell's a grape sandwich?
I was just thinking of bread with fruit in it. It's just
I see.
A grape sandwich.
You can have banana sandwiches.
Grape and cheddar as a sandwich is underrated. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I'm just thinking,
don't pull that look at me, Jack.
You can't really fit much between two bits of grape. So.
Well, if
they're phoning to get us to stop.
Yeah,
if anybody would like more excellent cultural conversation, please join us. Anything surrounded by bread is a sandwich from Deep Oaken. That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Join us on the 20th for more of whatever this has been. Thank you for joining us this evening. Sorry we're not on next week. And see you on the 20th.